You're on.
Temptation. Chuck Swindoll, one of my favorite teachers, said once, I can resist anything but temptation. And of course he was quoting someone else, and he's always very clear when he does things like that. And I want to say that probably 50% of the helpful things that I know came from Chuck Swindoll. I listened very intently. I mean, I was in school at that time, but not in school. You know, God had me intrigued, and when God has you intrigued with something that is fascinating to you, it's just like you found a new girlfriend, man. You just can't seem to resist the temptation. And I remember when I first met my honey, boy, we fell in love. She done the loving and I did the falling. You know. And she's sitting there rolling her eyes at me.
Somebody's got you.
But I rode 8 miles, man, on a bicycle to see her. No, it was 12, wasn't it? 12 miles from one place to another. And I was young, so my body could handle it. But you know what? Nothing else in the world could have caused me to jump on one of those little 26-inch bikes, or not 26, but what's it called? One of those
bike.
Smaller bikes that looks like a sort of like a Harley.
Racing bike.
20-inch. I think they're 20-inch, aren't they?
No.
It's a small bike. It's the ones they use to do tricks with and all that. But anyway, I hopped on that thing, man, and rode 12 miles one way. 12 miles one way to see my honey. And I seen her almost every day now. I'm telling you. No, my legs are still big. I can run a mile, you know, and
chicken legs.
Would shock you what I can still run a mile in.
It was worth it.
At 62 almost years old. Mine says it's worth it. But see, now that's how temptation works. The devil doesn't come at you with something that is not appealing. He comes at you with that is appealing. Now there is temptation in good things, there's temptation in bad things. What God wants us to do with the temptation that are good is to keep our commitment in it. If there is no commitment in the things that you are tempted to do, one of the things in our church is that when a person is saved, one of the first things they want to do, probably about 80% of the people that are saved, one of the first things they want to do is become a preacher. Well, and that's fine, there's nothing wrong with that. But when they find that there's work involved in it, all of a sudden the temptation doesn't seem to be so appealing. Let me tell you something, man, it takes hard commitment to get to that place in God where He will speak through you. It takes blood, sweat, and tears. Now, I ain't talking about the old rock and roll song, but or group, but it takes a lot of commitment to get to that place where God will work with you. There's a lot of preachers out there that are just not willing to commit themselves to the purpose of finding God. Listen, I know that God has this. And I want to take God. It takes work to get to this place. And I want to take everything that God has to offer for me. When Moses went up that mountain and obtained that light on his face, he didn't go up there one day and come down the next. I got it, boys. He wasn't up there 3 hours or 10 minutes. Some of us get in the prayer 10 minutes and thinking, man, we got it whooped now. We're going to go out and lead 3 million people out of Egypt. No, it takes 80 days to get 3 million people out of Egypt. Moses went up there more than once. And Moses lived on the backside of the desert listening, waiting for God, knowing all that time. Moses tried to be the deliverer back when he was in Egypt. But the thing that I have found with when you run ahead with God, you're only messing up. I've tried to push this thing that God has placed in my heart to do, only to come back with failure in my face. It has to be God's timing when this thing takes place. Just like a marriage. A marriage between a man and a woman takes time, takes commitment, takes learning to deal with that other person's things that rub against you very wrongly a lot of times. And the devil is an expert at making you think something is so good for you when it is not. When it is not. He says, I come to you, 2 Corinthians 11:14. No wonder, for Satan himself masquerades as an angel of light. King James says, and no marvel, as Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light. And that's exactly how he gets so many people wrapped up. He paints you a pretty picture. He makes things look really, really good. Man, look at this Rembrandt over here. I don't pay attention to that stuff over there, man. That's gonna need some work. It looks like a 3-year-old did it. Yeah, a 3-year-old named Leonardo da Vinci. A 3-year-old named Michelangelo. There's work involved. Listen, those men didn't pop out one day and draw the Lord's Last Supper the next. There's work involved in becoming who you are, in resisting the enemy. Listen, as you grow, you become stronger in God. James 4:7 says, submit yourselves then to God. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you. Resist yourself. And you know something, I've seen a thing on Facebook or internet somewhere that says God will not send you the perfect person when you are already married. No, that is the lie of the devil. I need to tell my son that. He's out there in California thinking he's found the perfect lady. Well, she's only going to be perfect until he gets fully committed to her. Let me tell you, there is not a lot of difference in the personality of young ladies when you first get married. It is a job. Brother, it is a job. You have... Listen, if you think you're going to get something free and there's no commitment in it and blah, blah, listen, there's a person wrapped up behind that pretty face. Lord, ladies, there is a person wrapped up behind all them muscles. There is endless problems wrapped up in every person's life when you decide that you have to live side by side that person. There is no such thing as a free lunch. I told this young lady the other day that was contemplating on being my daughter-in-law. I said, I counseled her. I said, why would you have to buy a cow when you're getting all the milk free? You know? And there's just a lot of problems. Once you get, you know, this is a pretty picture of the devil. Oh man, look at this. Just something. Oh boy, I'm telling you what now. makes my lips slobber. And the devil, he's hiding all that stuff from you. That's just like in America today. The people are saying, look at this, looks so good. You know, I'm going to give you a scenario in which Obama would be the answer for today. Okay? 2 chickens in every pot. Why can't we have 2 chickens in every pot with Mr. Obama? Listen, the chicken is free for you. It's free for you. It costs you nothing. Just take the chicken over, put it in the pot, and cook it. End the story. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with giving out a few chickens? What's wrong with giving out America some free chickens? Well, this is the problem. Okay? The fellow who hatched the egg had to pay for the feed that went into that egg. He had to pay for the time that it took to produce the egg. He had to pay for a processing fee of that egg. All this had to pay for. Now this is just the egg. We're not even talking about the chicken yet. Okay, you're raising the chicken. Okay, the farmer in the field, he's going to come and give you free chicken feed so you can raise your chicken. Free. Absolutely free. And the farmer that raised the grain, the guy at the gas station is going to give him free gas to run his tractor on. And he's going to eat free food at his table while the gas company is giving him free gas. His wife, she don't need no clothes. She don't need no food. She don't need nothing, man. She can go naked. They don't need nothing to raise that. They don't need a house. They don't need a barn they can put that chicken in. It costs $80,000 to build. All that stuff is all free. It's all free. You know. It looks good on the outside, folks, but when you start getting in deeper, let me tell you something. There's endless things that you have to deal with. I can't believe they sell that little egg for as cheap as they sell it. You know, you can get a box of eggs for what, $2? What?
$1.36.
$1.36 a dozen.
18 count.
18 count now. Oh my goodness. How they sell that stuff so cheap? I can't believe that.
Well, it was 3 something.
But, you know, when reality really sinks in America, Obama doesn't look all that great. Look at all these people he's robbing. From day one he stepped into office, he has begun to rob America, but yet he looks so good and so tempting to those that know absolutely nothing about commitment. He looks so good and so relevant for today to those who know absolutely nothing about commitment. Put that on Facebook.
What?
Obama looks so good to people who knows absolutely nothing about commitment. Put that on there. And I'll share it. I had a dream of a whole bunch of people looking toward Obama, and he slowly began to turn his hand and give to them the finger, the middle finger. And these people were all reaching out and having hope. And after 8 years of Obama, I can't believe there's people wanting Hillary who wants to do the same thing that he's done. Continue to do what Obama has done. These people are blind, crippled, and crazy and know absolutely nothing about commitment. Oprah wants to back Hillary. Oh, listen, Oprah's a lady sitting in a mansion someplace that's got ends of billions of dollars who's so spoiled that she went to a place where somebody wouldn't talk to her about a certain purse, spread it all over the internet, spread it all over the news. She's got what, $400 million last I heard? How does that relate to you? Who has to work and scrimp and save But yet you're following her opinions. You're following her opinion. She looks good. She's a temptation. She's an angel of the devil. Looks good. Just like my son out there in California. The devil's got his eyes on an angel. whose heart is no different. She is no different than any other lady. She, you know what? A lot of Mexican people are high strung. She will test him at his core. I have a lot of Mexican friends, man. I know how they're just like the Irish. Good thing he's Irish. He might be able to put up with it. You know what I'm saying? Okay. He puts that little hat on me and he looks like that little guy with the pot of gold. You know that little, what are those called, honey? Not gnomes.
Beanie hats?
No, the little elf guy, but he's Irish. What is he called? I can't remember. I'm so embarrassed I can't remember what that's called. Anyway.
Leprechauns.
Leprechaun. He looks like a leprechaun. He'd be a good mascot for the Fighting Irish over there in Notre Dame, man. He'd be good for that. Alrighty. God bless you. Got to get off here. It's getting too long. We'll see you next time. Another great message right here, Crossing the Middle Ministry.